guards. So it's a very good map for both of the players that way.
All right, so game has started. We're in. In the top right, we see our green Zerg from Team Mythology. It's Daz. And on the bottom left, from Team Mythology, his teammate, it's Viper, both sponsored by the Game Shop. So yeah, CVP on this map, you can really do anything. Like we see lots of Zergs, of course, going for that big free base early economy into roaches, into investors, into the whole GG death ball with Broodlord investors. And Protoss can just do whatever they feel. Sometimes it feels like sometimes. Once again, an in-base pylon. Very interesting move by Viper here.
Yeah, he does seem to like those gateway expands. And I mean, if you want to be aggressive and if you really rely, I mean, not rely, but if you really trust your multitasking and microing, then it's a very good thing to do. I personally, on this map, I have a strategy that I always go for a Forge first expand, or even a Nexus first if I feel comfortable in pulling it off. Depends on the way I scout and stuff. And then if I see the Zerg going down to get himself at the early third base, I do the same thing. So I go down, get my third, get up like 2 or 3 cannons, and then I wall off a little bit with the gateways. And I'll be on 3-base economy, putting the Zerg in a very awkward position. Like, does he want to 3-base all in me? Or is he gonna 1-up me and go for like a 4th or 5th base? But if he goes for 4th or 5th base, he's going to be screwed. Since like you can't really go 4 or 5 bases straight up without an army if you're a Zerg playing against a Protoss.
You make CVP or PvZ sound easy, man.
Yeah. I mean the thought of it is easy, if we say it that way. Like the strategy when it comes to thinking is easy. Just pulling it off though is really hard. Well, not hard, but it's annoying. Like baning, bust, and stop, they are the bane of my existence when I do that thing.
So Viper going for the Fortune base rather than the gateway this time.
Oh, Grubby. He's playing like Grubby and oh, what's his name? He's so Parting and Grubby do this a lot.
Okay, I thought it was Sase or Nano start. No, neither of them. Sorry. Yeah, Parting might have started it. I know Grubby picked it up when he went to Korea and started doing it at the MLGs and stuff like that, and he had pretty good success with it. Mostly at DazGS EU, he had some really good success with this build. In PvC, of course, it wasn't always the build that won in the game, but usually his awesome gameplay in late game PvC, like on Cloud Kingdom, was really awesome. And actually, Viper manages to get up a cannon at the natural of Daz.
Nope.
So far, his links are running out, but he isn't going for the probe. So if he throws down a cannon, I don't think Daz is going to be able to spot it in time. There we go. That's one drone moving out. It's going to see the pylon.
This is gonna be so awkward. And now he walls it off a little bit with that pylon. So, I mean, the back cannon is more or less invincible. The front cannon as well, since you can only attack it with 1, maybe 2 links.
And what's he gonna do with these links? Is he just gonna try to harass the cannon, or?
Yeah, well, he's not gonna be able to get it
that
down.
That one cannon's gonna go up.
Yeah, both cannons are. They're gonna be. It's in range of the Spinecrawler as well. Spinecrawler gets killed off. It doesn't get cancelled.
Oh wow, that's such a huge blow because he needs, spines against this. No doubt. He needs another queen as well. Wow, yeah. Viper really putting his opponent in a tough spot from the get-go.
He is indeed. I mean, it's going to be really, really annoying to try to do
anything. Spines going up, and Daz is practically supply blocked. Like he's got 1 supply spot left. And he's trying to get rid of this 1 cannon first. Well, he succeeds in doing so. And he's actually going to build a 3rd rather than decide to go for an additional spine crawl. And it's going to lose this queen. Oh, he's got He's going to take out one of the cannons. Really good move. And I think, it looks like he's in the clear actually. This cannon will fall. Going to go head to head with this queen, but the queen will win this battle. So he doesn't actually need the spines. I was completely wrong. He's just droning ahead happily. And if you look at the resources lost, then the Protoss is actually behind at this stage.
Yeah, or ahead, the way you want to see it. He's ahead in losses.
That's one very glass half full way to look at it, I have to admit.
Yeah, the lucky Swedes. We want to see it as positive as can be. But, I mean, Viper did make a crucial mistake here. He actually right-clicked one of his cannons to attack the the hatchery, which means that only one cannon was defending against two queens attacking. Because if both the cannons would have defended, it would have most likely killed off the queens, or at least like chased them away.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that, because I was so surprised at the minimal DPS coming out of those cannons against the queens.
Yeah, that's because one of them was constantly just attacking the hatchery. That's why the hatchery is so incredibly low.
Look at the wall of a Viper though. He's got 3 gateways right there.
Yeah.
Like that. Those are his gateways. And he's got a minimal tight wall up with the. I know it's standard. I mean, it's not standard, but it works. But it's very unorthodox, as far as I know.
It all comes down to where he wants to place his pylons, like in the start. Because a new thing that is not new thing that is developing. It has been going on for some time. Is that you want to hide both your Forge and your Cybernetics core, more or less something that's come out of the Forge in base into Forge First Expand.
Yeah.
Because that way the Zerg cannot see where your Chrono boost, because Zergs have become so good at understanding Protoss builds that if they scout the way that you Chrono boost as a Protoss, they'll know if you're going for some early aggression with an upgrade, and they also will know like if you Chrono boost a lot into their Cyber core.
Daz gets a perfect scout off in his opponent's main with the Overlord. Meanwhile, he himself is tackling up the lair quite early. Well, actually pretty standard lair timing, I think. And yeah, this is actually a very standard build coming out of Daz. Throwing down the macro hatch, already having that roach warring up, upgrading speed, going for +1 for the roaches. This is pretty much the ZVP cookie cutter build, except he's been pretty much delayed by that cannon rush. And he's now making roaches basically to be safe in the mid game.
Yeah, more or less. Something interesting though is that Warp Prism with the 4 sentries right next to it, he's most likely going to pick them up and go in towards the mineral line of the main.
That would be so awesome. Yeah, that has to be what he's doing. And having your roaches out on the map is something you don't want. However, an in-base macro hatch at that point, it's pretty good, because you can actually you actually have decent larva and production in your main at that point, If he snipes one of the hatches, you can still do some decent mining.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to snipe a hatchet with the sentries. Of course, if he warps stuff in...
Yeah, he's got like 6 gates up right now, so... And he's actually got a pretty big blind spot in his main as well, so he can actually get 2 warp-ins off before actually engaging there.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to do that. Is he going to just force field the army out of the base? It looks like he's going to do so with the spot that as soon as there we see the force field out and just warp stuff in, kill up the main, get out again with, the valuable stuff.
So there's, wow, that's quite a lot. Oh, he missed the force field, and now there's a lot of roaches right on top of his army, and he's pretty much already wasted this entire opportunity, losing the sentries actually with subpar pickup micro, and this entire engagement has really been botched. And he's warping in again, whoa. Yeah, apparently decided it was a good idea not to, and now suddenly Viper is sitting on 1800 minerals, while his third has been blocked by an Overlord, so he has to do something with it.
Yeah, he absolutely does. Poor Viper. It just misses the force field a little bit. A lot of roaches get in, because that's what happens when you miss the force field, and then everything else has just gone to waste.
And now we have a significant supply difference. Of course, roaches do supply, blah blah blah, you know the deal. And he's looking to take map control, actually spots the Warp Prism in the middle of the map. And he might be going for some aggression, because Viper doesn't have much of a standing army.
No, it does not. We see the attempt at getting a third base up, the probe will get killed off, that pylon, yeah, it's gonna get cancelled.
Oh, he's stuck in such an awkward spot. He doesn't have any significant tech except upgrades. +2 is gonna finish soon. But he doesn't... Okay, he has a Twilight and he has Blink, but there's no Robotech, and actually some pressure coming out from Daz. Just curious to see if Viper wants to try and catch him out. He does, but misses the force fields.
Yeah, and he's gonna move on back, Daz that is. He doesn't really have that big of an army either, so they're both in a little bit of an awkward position. Of course, Daz is in, awkward good, and Viper's in awkward bad at this point in the game.
Daz just wants to put on some pressure and delay the third for as long as possible. You see, his Overlord's about to get taken out, and he just runs in there to try to stall that for as long as possible. Overlord finally dies, and he's just gonna draw back to the to the Zilnaga tower in order to just maintain map control. And while he's taking up to infestors, should be seeing a hive pretty soon, I feel.
I think it could happen with the fourth base just about to pop up as well. You more or less, when it takes this long to get where you want to be, and you've got the amount of infestors that you want to have out, which is, I mean, 8. More than that, of course, just a lot better. But I mean, you really want to have at least 4 bases.
For Viper. He just finishes up a whole lot of pylons and he just warps in stalkers because, you know, you gotta do something. But at this point, I'm surprised of course he's trying to take a third, but he still hasn't thrown down something like a RoboBay in order to get Colossus, which generally are really good against roaches.
Yeah, they're pretty good against roaches, but I don't really know. They will see the RoboBay coming up. He is very, very gas started. You can see that in the way that he is just defending this base. He's gonna go out to 4 cannons and then 2 gateways, and a lot of like just mineral heavy stuff.
Ooh, almost catches out off the army of Daz. You know, this roachling army being very cheap, not having a lot of upgrades either. We've seen how much difference that can make actually. So as long as Viper just sticks to his guns, you know, protects his fur, protects his natural, he's got a warp prism out near the Nissananga tower, so he should see stuff coming. Daz doing a bit of darting in and out, trying to pressure. But yeah, we're gonna see Viper tech up solidly, and Daz as well, pretty much.
Yeah, the problem for Viper right now is that his army is very flimsy. It relies so much on force fields. Really nice not going in with those infestors towards the cannons. Like it did disastrously.
And now I think the observer spots him. Viper now moving up. Nice force blocking out the circlings, and he might really get something done there. Infested turrets being lobbed over, which is actually a bit of a waste of energy because they can take it out really quickly. And looks like Viper just wants, Dax just wants to force his way into the main by taking out that gateway and forcing this engagement.
Yeah, now we see that, I mean, even though the infestors are there and could get fungus off, they have wasted a lot of energy. Just one infestor left with energy enough to fungally should be able to follow twice though. But
Immortal's just going to town on this engagement. Daz really botching this here, losing so many roaches links, preserving his infestors though, which is what he really needed to do. But Viper says, okay, you've got just infestors, I'm just gonna head out to the map and chase you. However, he's not chasing with his observer, so he won't be able to actually see these burrowed infestors. So.
No, not quite.
Oh, he actually thinks he has an opportunity here. He's going to push out into his opponent's side of the map, who promptly, you know, tries to make as much links as he can, and that's a lot of links.
Yeah, the reinforcements have just come in, and this is the problem with the flimsy army of the Portless right now. He doesn't quite have stuff to, you know, fight head up, and links, they do really want to fight head on against everything. Another Fungal just locks all the Immortals in place.
Immortals. I think actually their single target damage is pretty okay, but yeah, these infested Terrans just gonna clean up the rest of this Protoss army. Really unnecessary move there by Viper, because with proper Zealot support, that fight could have gone a whole lot better. And his Colossus are, you know, almost halfway done. If he'd waited for that, this whole engagement could have gone completely different and, well, mostly better for Viper, who at this point still has an oversaturated main somewhat, and is not saturating his third at all.
Yeah, now he's moving. Okay, yeah, I was just saying, now he's moving every single probe from the natural down towards the third, but he decides to not just go on down into that quite yet. He does, of course, as you said, need to saturate that third of his, and he's going to do so by building additional probes at this point. But he's getting awfully close to just coming into more or less an unwinnable position. We've already got 8 GG Lords on the map. We've got 4 more on the way, and like, that's another thing. I mean, infestors become winfestors. We see a lot of links just moving on up, almost gets caught by the force fields, but the Colossus are going to not quite getting in range to kill those off. Will want to kill one of his own links for whatever reason, but Daz does what Daz does, and he kills his own links because he's so far ahead, he feels. He wants to get a half a supply out. Like,
literally, those links are just expendable. It's what we saw in the previous fights, that Daz, only thing he really traded.
Oh, he gets into the natural.
Oh, no force field here either to block him in. This is going to do so much damage. Big warping though in the main, which might actually very well take care of these links, besides the fact that there's no charge. But this gives, you know, Daz the perfect opportunity to just move in with his Infestor Broodlord army, and, you know, Viper just really doesn't have what it takes to combat this.
Yeah, funny that you call it Infestor Broodlord army, because that's exactly what it is. It's Infestors and Broodlords, nothing else around for Daz.
There's Overseers, you know. And at this point, just moving the Broodlords is more than sufficient to just kill whatever the Protoss has. There's literally... Oh, okay, there's 2 Stalkers, I'm wrong, sorry. And there's enough.
And don't forget the tickle beams of the sentries.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's 5 things that can shoot up, 7 more Stalkers warping in, but it's gonna be I mean, he is coming up on impossibility of being able to do something. The Stalkers the sentries the Zealots that he warped in were inside of the main base of the Zerg, but they are cleaned on up now, so the Zerg main has been saved. The Protoss Natural has been killed off, so many probes dying. The main has been mined out. The 3rd base is just waiting to get killed off by Broodlings.
Yeah, Viper's doing what he can, trying to mass up enough Stalkers to kill off these Broodlords, but you know, with the amount of Infestor energy we see, it's just not really gonna happen.
No, it's looking really, really grim. We see even 2 more Spires coming on out. Just 1 for extra support, I feel, and the 3rd just for good measure.
Yeah, he doesn't have any upgrades on the Broodlords though, to be fair. But that's not really going to be the deal breaker. Blink in now from the Stalkers. An excellent A move with those Broodlords. An excellent fungals with the Infestors. And GG